let's jump over here. And if you do have the worksheets, I've got a copy of the hiring funnel, which there's a couple video trainings already in the vault about the hiring funnel. But essentially our goal today is to talk about the PFT ad builder, the perfect future teammate ad builder, how to turn your job ad into a hiring filter, the marketing essentially. And so big picture, this is the entire hiring funnel. And I'm going to give a quick overview on it. But the thing we're going to zoom in on today specifically is this idea of the perfect future teammate. What does that person actually look like? So I'm going to jump over here to my big page that I already wrote out because I didn't want to spend 20 minutes just drawing this thing out for you guys. But I do want to highlight a couple things for you. So there's three main phases inside of the hiring funnel. And it doesn't work if I flip it this way, so that's why I've got it flipped this way. But imagine this is a funnel. Well, before we actually even start the hiring piece, which is step number 2, I don't think that yellow shows up good. Step number 2 is the actual hiring. Before that, there's some preparation that if we don't do the preparation, one of the things I like to say to you guys is the better you do the step before, the easier the next step will be. So the better we do this prep piece, the easier the hiring will be, the easier the onboarding will be. So inside of the prep, there's a couple things. We've got, number one, we got to identify what's the whole. Like some of you guys said, sales, project coordinator, superintendent. That's super easy, right? We can identify the whole pretty easy. I don't need to build a tool for that for you guys. The role, we did this with you guys when you started with us. We got really clear. Your accountability chart should have the top 5 to 7 roles and responsibilities for that particular position. Like what are the primary things that they're going to do when they work for you? All right, so once we know the whole, we know the role, then it's like, what is that perfect future teammate look like? And when I talk about the perfect future teammate, you know, we're talking about all kinds of things here. We're talking about where are they located at? Is this a remote thing? Is this an on-site thing? What are their skills? What are their values? What does that person actually look like? What are the non-negotiables that you want to have for this perfect future teammate? And chances are, some of you guys that already have people on your team, you already have a model perfect future teammate. And so we want to model a lot of what we're going to do today around that right there. Now, the better you've gotten clear about your core values, the purpose of the company, the goals for the company, the easier it's going to be to attract that person because all we're going to do is just showcase all of those things. All right. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on the rest of this stuff, but if you're new to the community, the hiring funnel, essentially we want to take a large pool of candidates, right? All these people apply, and we want to whittle it down to that one perfect future teammate. In order to do that, we're going to collect some resumes, which we're not going to read. At least we're not going to read the first round of them. We're going to have them do a step, a video, an audio, fill out a form. That usually for me, the last time I did this, we went from 70 sales rep applicants down to like 12 that actually did the video. From there, I offered for 7 of those people to do a personality test and to jump on a 15-minute phone call. So that's step number 3 in the funnel. From that phone call, I knew that I only wanted to meet with 4 of them. And so that's when we actually start looking at resumes. So I went from 70 to 4. I only looked at those 4 resumes typically. Now you might look at the 7 when you're doing the phone interview, but for me, honestly, the phone interview is really just a time to jump on a call and see like, hey, is this a person that I feel like that acts, sounds, looks like somebody that would be not only that I'd want on my team, but that maybe I'd hang out with on the weekend, right? Because ultimately I'm trying to build a group of people that are like me or same values as me, right? So I do that. I look at those 7 resumes. Maybe I only look at the 4. And then from there, we move to a skills test, which typically is 2 to 3 people, and we make an offer to 1 person usually. So that's kind of the big picture hiring funnel as a whole. Other opportunities for us to help with some tools for you guys, and I'm not sharing my screen here. Other opportunities for us to build some tools. We did this one. One of the next ones I'm going to do is I'm going to build a scorecard for you guys that will basically give you a number rating system as people are going through this process. So you've got a document that you'll be able to just grade people on a number scale so that you take some of the feelings and the emotion out of the hiring process. How many of you guys in the past have ever hired just kind of based on a gut feeling and you're praying that they're actually going to work out? Show of hands, right? Like I used to hire people based on how I felt. My goal would be to take some of that emotion out and look at their skills, their values, their communication style, all of those things, their ability to follow instructions. And so I think a scorecard would be really valuable. So that's one of the other things we're going to do this month. From there, the last step is onboarding. And the better you onboard people, the more likely they are to stick around because they know what they're responsible for. Three main functions inside of the onboarding are the orientation. You got to start them right. Give them all of the specific things about the company that they need to know up front. Then explain to them what their first week is going to look like. Have a really clear plan there. And then their first 90 days. And their first 90 days, one of the other tools that we recommend, and Lance was here for Fly-In Friday, and I think we helped him build out part of this, is what's the 90-day checklist? What are the things that they're going to have to learn over the first 90 days? And make a checklist for that so that when you do their 90-day quarterly conversation, their 90-day review, you actually have a document to go back and say, hey, you know, I know how, if it's a bookkeeper, I know how to enter receipts in QuickBooks. I know how to do payroll. I know how to do the bonus compensation plan for this, for the salespeople. I know how to do the profit first accounts, right? Like those would be bookkeeper type items that are on their 90-day checklist. So that's another tool that I think is really important in the onboarding process. But again, I want to start with getting this prep process right. And so we're going to zoom in on the perfect future teammate role.